Let's talk about the talent that is Jordan Peele. I mean, the man made a masterpiece.
Yep.
You know what? It's kind of like how Spielberg made white people scared of water. Jordan Peele made black people scared of drinking tea. We see teacups now. We just like, no, you ain't gonna get mine.
Can I help you?
Zora, put your shoes on.
If you want to get crazy, we can get crazy.
I got to let everybody out there know that this video is sponsored and approved by Backblaze. We do a lot of content, man.
We do.
A lot of content.
So much content.
It's so much content, Martin. I can't carry it anymore, Martin. It's so much. We do video. And with video, we're talking about gigs upon gigs of information. So many of them. I carry them with me everywhere. There's so much. Now I'm like those commercials where it's just kind of like pesky hard drives getting on your nerves. What am I going to do?
It's a problem.
It's finally relief for people like us. There is Backblaze. Backblaze has unlimited backup for your files. Do you have a PC or Mac?
I got a PC.
Doesn't matter, because it's for both PCs and Macs.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
I hate getting left out.
We the world is having a hard time getting along as it is. Now there's this for PC and Mac users out there. And Martin, don't worry, because I know you're saying, man, I got a lot of stuff.
I do.
Martin, you don't have to worry about anything. Backblaze has over 750 petabytes backed up and counting, Martin. They also have over 35 billion files restored. If that ain't peace of mind for your ass, I don't know what is, Martin.
Man, petabytes? Are you sure?
Don't even know what it is, but I know it's a lot of bytes. You can have a mobile app for access on the go. You can always get those files recovered from the web wherever you are, Martin. You have nothing to worry about. And not only can you share files that are backed up by links, Martin, but you also have, I'm looking at it right here, you have Restore by Mail. Are you familiar with this?
I can't say that I am.
I didn't even know this existed, Martin. You get flash key or hard drive restores shipped right to your door. Martin, if you like that, they have a restore, return, refund program out there for this too. You buy a hard drive. Now, I got to read this to you right here. Buy a hard drive, restore, send the hard drive back within 30 days and get a full refund. See, while you're looking at me, you could be already going to backblaze.com/double toasted. You can too. Go to backblaze.com/double toasted. You're going to thank me. You're going to thank them. You're going to thank your Uncle Martin over here. We just saved all your memories, all your precious files, probably saved your job, which means we saved your life. And just remember one more time that this video has been sponsored and approved by Backblaze, and we thank you for watching. Now we got this new movie, Us. A lot of people, before the man even made, it's the hard thing to be Jordan Peele right now, I would imagine, because a lot of people looking at him. The man made one movie, which is Get Out, and that's when we're talking about the tea and everything. Man made one movie, instant classic, and you do that. He ain't made no other movies outside of that, but when you do that, he's already been named the new master of horror.
Right.
There.
He's the Black Hitchcock.
He's the Black Hitchcock. Man, can he be the next Hitchcock?
No.
Usually people are called.
Because you know what happens when you're the next Hitchcock? You really fall off hard after that.
Yeah.
And so everybody's kind of trying to be hopeful.
Yeah.
If you call him the next Hitchcock, that means he's really the next M. Night Shyamalan.
Yeah. Yeah, that's true. Like M. Night Shyamalan, he's brown. Everybody just call him the next Hitchcock. Somebody even fucked up and tried to combine the two, the Black Hitchcock. Somebody called him Bitchcock, and I said, I don't pull that shit back. That don't work, man. Once you have an instant classic, you're always gonna have that hurdle there.
Yep.
You're always gonna have that against you.
Everything will be compared to that.
Not can you do just as good, but can you do better than that? And that's what we're here to talk about tonight. We're gonna talk about this movie, Us, and we'll be very fair, and we'll do our best not to try to put too much heavy expectations on it. That's what I mean by we'll be fair. So let's go ahead and take a look at the trailer for Us.
Where were you? I didn't know if you were lost. Stick with me, and I'll keep you safe.
I like the way that brother just outside the window. I got $5.
Who is that?
Shit. Somebody give this man his $5. Get the fuck out of here. I got $5. Oh, thank you. You ain't gonna get around it, so might as well address it. How does it compare to Get Out? I want to get this out the way because I don't want to talk about it no more after we do this. And as far as how it compares to Get Out, the best thing that you can do is going into this and forget about Get Out. Get out or get out. You know, don't worry about this no more. Shit, get a white person to make you some tea before you go in if you need to. Don't talk about this no more. But since you won't, we'll do it. We'll compare. At least I will. I will do a quick comparison. Not as good, in my opinion. And now that doesn't necessarily mean I'm talking about this particular movie. I'm just saying that's always going to be a hard thing. Mm-hmm. I get the feeling that Jordan Peele, Get Out was a movie that he just was constructing for years.
Right.
And living.
Yeah, yeah, that's right.
He has a white wife.
Yes, he does. It set up so many questions and then answered all of them.
Right.
Mm-hmm. In such an entertaining way. It answered everything clicked so well in Get Out. And by the end, everything had such a satisfying payoff.
Yeah.
And Us is a way more open-ended movie than Get Out. And when I say it's not as good, I almost mean just different. I only say not as good because people are going to go in there with the expectations. You're going to want the same structure, I imagine, of Get Out, because a lot of people do that. They go in there expecting sort of not maybe the exact same movie, but sort of the same structure. This is almost the opposite of Get Out in that this is a more open-ended movie. I can't tell you why, but if you walk out, because the thing is, this doesn't answer anything for you really at all. If you walk out of this movie saying, well, that ain't no Get Out, there needs to be a man waiting to kick you right in your ass when you do that. Because it's not the same. It should not be held against him. This movie needs to be taken exactly on his own terms. Mm-hmm. Because like I said, if it was one thing where it wasn't in the plan for him to leave it with a lot of questions and leave it open-ended as he did, that would be one thing. But that was the exact intention, I believe.
Yeah, and I feel like with Get Out, he kind of set out with the intention of, all right, I am going to make sure everything in this wraps up in a nice little neat bow because this is his first movie, his first time writing. Mm-hmm. He's like, all right, I'm going to make sure when I come out, I'm going to put my best foot forward, and then I can get a little weird with you guys and kind of get a little more experimental with everybody.
Yeah, and that's exactly what this is. You mean you making this crazy ass movie with black people too? No.
Yeah.
You want to make people double mad when you walk out. Nah, man. This would not be made. I can tell you that right now. It might be made
Tyler
small.
Perry's Us? Oh, I wish you would have had the camera when you made that face.
Brother, it's just like you said. We would have these doubles over here, and Tyler Perry would still concentrate on why this black man's beating this woman.
Right.
That would be a subplot. This is just weird. And I mean, it's in. And that's one of the biggest assets of the movie is that it is freaky. This is the reason why that's an asset of this film is because it keeps you guessing.
You're on the edge of your seat the whole time.
Yeah,
right.
Mm-hmm. They can't answer what's happening, and we don't know what's happening either. Because a lot of movies, the main characters in the film, they don't know what's happening, but we do.
Yeah.
So we look at them like they're stupid.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. It keeps you guessing. You will never see some of the things that are coming. This story will always catch you off guard.
Yeah. I was thinking about it like, yeah. I can't really think of a thing where I was like, oh, yeah, I saw that coming. No.
Yeah, yeah. And, another thing I think that's really cool about it, it's just not he's a great filmmaker for horror. He's just a great filmmaker, period, as far as constructing a story and engaging the audience. Throughout the film, and I'm not going to say what they are, but there are visual clues throughout the film that you might catch patterns happening. You might catch glimpses of something you saw before that's repeated.
Sure. No, I'm just laughing at from the very first scene. There's a videotape in the background, and I was like, boom, right there. It's telling us what this is.
Yeah, yeah. No, there are clues where he's telling you what they are. There are clues that you're gonna go back. It's just kind of like we Get Out in a different way. You're gonna go back and have to watch it twice to see what certain things mean. I gave up halfway through. I said, "Fuck it, I don't know what's happening." Shit, let me just watch the movie.
See, brother, I'm kind of in the same spot you were, because like about 2/3 of it, I was like, oh yeah, I understand what's going on. And then it's like last third, I was like, I am confused. I don't know what's going on. I don't know why are these people doing this?
Yeah.
I'm so lost right now.
I got more frustrated trying to put shit together. I'm like, man, fuck it, I'm gonna just enjoy this.
Well, no, I was sitting next to Ray, and he's like falling asleep and like rubbing his face like the whole time.
Oh
I was
my
like,
God.
I'm like, I'm sitting there. I was like, okay, is he turning into one of these things? Okay, whatever. So I'm like trying to pay attention to the movie and him, but yeah, like with the movie, I'm getting so lost, and I'm looking over to see if he's getting anything, and he's losing his shit. So I'm like, all right, whatever.
Yeah, no, don't. I'm telling you, you're gonna think you smart. I'm being nice, all right? I'm gonna tell you, you're gonna think you smart. You're gonna be one of them film people sitting up there, well, I have it all figured out. And that shit's gonna throw your ass off right in the middle, and you're gonna be mad. And then you're gonna come out talking about, this sucks. Just enjoy the film. Sit back and don't try to be a detective.
I guess kind of early on, I was almost disappointed. I was like, I think I know what this is. But I could be wrong, because it was doing a bunch of stuff. And when it gets to the reveal, I was like, oh, I was right. Well, dang, okay.
I had the big reveal, kind of, not completely, but I kind of had it figured out. What I'm talking about are small clues. What does that have to do with anything? And, because there were things I was like, okay, I saw the pattern, and for right now, that led to really nothing.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's one of the things where I feel like you kind of have to take your, I guess, get off hat off for this movie, is because there's not like,
You just say you'll get off.
Yeah, you may get out, right? You kept going, so I was like, well, I think it's. I don't want to stop him and correct him.
take your get out hat off. That's what I meant.
Okay,
to
which
say.
hat you wearing right now? I want to be prepared.
Roll the dice, Coleman. Let's see.
Do they sell those on Amazon? Because that sounds like one of those I want.
Because like with that, I'm sorry if you haven't seen Get Out, but like with that, it's kind of a nice wrapped up thing, and it's like in the realm of horror, there's always either this is scientific or this is natural or supernatural or etc. Like with this one, it doesn't really give you an exact answer of to what it is.
You can present something that's kind of open world in your movie. You can present questions that aren't answered, but I think one of the problems with that is that if you don't give enough, it's going to open more questions. Things ain't gonna make sense.
Yeah.
I'm
Or if you rush it. I feel like that can also be detrimental to your film too. If you're just like explaining everything in like the last 2 minutes, you're like, all right, well then, I don't know what's happening.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, it will. Don't get me wrong. It's for the majority of the movie. It's fun to play with these clues. It's fun to be surprised by things that you didn't expect. Even if you know where the big events are going to go, but I think that throughout the film, the majority of it works for a few reasons. One, when you talk about the unexpected, this actually goes into an area that a lot of people were expecting him to go, or something. They were expecting him to do a certain thing, and he didn't do it, and I'm very happy about that. There's no obvious social statement here. Now, there's probably one that's interpretive.
There is.
Well, I mean, he's already, because some people have said it's about income inequality, or the have-nots, the haves and the have-nots. Some people, Jordan Peele himself has talked about these creatures or whatever they are in the movie. They're called the tethered, and his thing that he said is that, this is just me saying that with all the turmoil that's going on in the world today, with all the finger pointing, the biggest, the worst thing to fear is ourselves. So that's kind of his statement on it. But some people were looking at this and they were talking. I remember when they were looking at the trailer and trying to figure it out. They was like, "Well, see what it is. The way they talking about how the double standard of the white man keeping us down."
No.
You gotta see is the impontifities. Oh no!
Well, it's about the white man turning us against ourselves. You see, the nigga, you just
Bean pie, brother. Bean pie, brother. Bean pie.
It's good to see these people be a regular family. They didn't have to in this movie. They didn't have to be black. Actually, in this film,
No.
they could have been. They could have been a white family in the same situation, and that And I thought that was cool, because really this is not the place to have that kind of social message or black message, because you don't want to, Get Out was that was it, the message, Here, Jordan Peele wants to scare, not thrill. He wants to terrify your ass. And to do that, you need to look at ordinary people in this crazy ass situation. And that's exactly what they are. They're just ordinary people that could have been anybody.
Can't believe you kept all this inside for so long. You know I'm here, right?
And you ain't gonna do a goddamn thing. Is that supposed to make me feel better? So corn ass. When you look at this is a genre film, man, and it's cool to see that we're finally getting genre films with people of color where that color does not matter. Again, I think it took someone like Jordan Peele to actually come in here and make a big statement about color, get himself out there, and now let's say, hey, look, I'm just going to make a horror movie that anybody could be in.
Nobody was a stereotype, because and a lot of times you see the black dude in the horror movies I'm the big tough guy, I'm gonna take down anything. But this is just a corny brother that's raising his family and doing a good job at it. And then the kid would have some trouble with bringing guns to school, or drugs come up somewhere, or this kid's ditching school or whatever. It's no, they're just good kids, good parents, everything's dope.
The cast is great, since you're talking about how all these people are great here as a family. Everybody's gonna be talking about Lupita Nyong'o. And Lupita Nyong'o, she's great because, first of all, she's the main character. She spends most of the movie playing two parts. Yeah. And they're very different from each other. And as an actress, somebody just kind of blew up all of a sudden. She continues to show her range in films, man. She's forever growing, expanding her range in ways we did not think. Shit, people still can't figure out where she's from. Shit, people really thought she was from Wakanda for a little while, Then, and then she's talking here in this movie, and there's no accent or anything. She's one of those actresses that is so great, you don't even know what her background is because she keeps changing. When she feels scared, you feel scared, because there are points where she's so terrified that one of her eyes are trying to jump out her head. Did you see how many times one of my eyes would just lead to the side? You get one of them get wall-eyed.
She brought back them 12 years of slave tears, though.
She sure did.
Boy, the second thing. Oh God!
Yeah, eyes all red. Yeah, man. I tell you who I really enjoyed in the movie is Winston Duke, man.
You know what? I didn't.
You didn't?
He doesn't have a lot of range.
He doesn't. Matter of fact, he sounded like somebody who's trying to fight an accent, and I don't know what he sounds like normally, but he was just very stiff. His delivery of every line, and I was kind of like, all right, I know he's supposed to be, like you said, corny, but there's just something about how stiff he is and the way he's not naturally speaking or interacting with people, even his friends, his buddy. And it was very apparent when the kids would talk, because those two kids were fantastic.
Oh no,
very
the
natural,
kids are
fantastic. He was
fantastic.
just not very natural through it all.
I mean, even that scene right there when he was talking to her, the mirror girl,
Yeah.
you can hear M'Baku sneak out a little bit, wait, what accent was that? What are you doing here?
I'm here for you. And it's there was no feeling in that. I'm are you though?
I am here for you.
We're gonna do that again. Do it like you have a soul.
I am here for Challenge Day.
Yeah, no, acting wise, I thought everybody was great in this except for him.
Praise be to Hanuman.
I liked him so much because I know I'll be a corny ass dad like he is if I'm ever dead.
Oh no, I like his character. Fine.
But I guess
But you can't say that there weren't times when you're like, brother, get up. When he's on the ground like, man, get your big ass up.
Man, Martin, he got hit in the leg. Come on, Martin. God damn.
Martin don't care.
You got two legs.
The man got injured.
Your family about to get slaughtered.
Martin was Nancy Kerrigan.
You
Get up, girl. You can still skate.
man got hit in the leg with his character. What Jordan Peele was able to do is that he was able to show, at least for me, with that character, he's able to use that to create some great pacing in the film. In the same scene, he's able to balance horror and comedy, which is, entertaining people and releasing tension in equal amounts of time, so that it's an overall better and enjoyable experience. I think because I look at the scene with him where, you know, where you're talking about he should get his ass up and do something.
Let me at least give it a bit of a try. No.
Let me get a bat, knock you in your knees. See how you do.
I wish you would.
Chase your ass with some scissors.
Yeah, you see me get up.
Man, you're gonna be kneecapped. You ain't gonna do a goddamn thing. You better hope I don't get up. And it's funny because it's scary at the same time because you don't know what these people are doing.
Mm-hmm.
But it's funny. Winston Duke was making me laugh. It's like because he was, because that's what was funny to me, that he was a big dude, big old nerdy ass dude, and big old nerdy black dude.
I know.
And the blacker he tried to get, the cornier he would sound.
So if y'all want to get crazy, we can get crazy. Now the cops are already on their way.
Look at like, is that a white dude in blackface? Hey, like, Negro, please.
On their way.
On their way. See, y'all laughing, right? I guess I'm the only one to support black up in here. Y'all trying to bring a brother down?
When he acting like this, yes.
No. You might as well have been holding the bat yourself.
Jordan Peele does an amazing job of balancing horror and comedy, because you see so many movies that fumble when they try to do that, because the comedy comes in so much that it undercuts the terror. You're like, well, I'm just laughing a second ago, so how scared am I supposed to be? And here he has these moments of comedy that are just like natural human moments, so you feel at ease and you know the people, and then when it gets scary, you're that much more terrified for them. And those moments of comedy that might come in between are just more like nervous laughter. Like, all right, well, this is something kind of funny, but then there's still very fucked up situation that has not ended.
Did you find the comedy disruptive in any way like that, either one of you?
No, I didn't. And it's funny because at South by Southwest, I saw another big horror film that's coming out very soon. And in that movie, they got it wrong. They got it so wrong.
Oh, really?
To where the second half, like people started out with nervous laughter because it was genuinely scary. Second half, people were just laughing their asses off. And I was like, well, everybody's having a good time, but this is not supposed to be a comedy.
I never got that to that point with this.
You know, I get the rap for not liking horror movies, and I accept it because most of them I don't like. But the reason I don't like them is because they aren't done well like this is.
Yeah.
Where, you know, somebody's mindful of everything.
Yeah.
Of the camera work and how to keep the tension up.
Yeah.
This isn't just a bunch of cheap kills.
Yeah, no, they aren't. There are some good kills in here, but none of them seem cheap. None of them seem like they're done just for the sake of showing you blood or trying to get a rise out of the audience. And talking about some of the other characters in the movie, or some of the other actors, because like a lot of people in the film, the family is very good. The kids are very good. I mean, because they all have to play doubles of each other. You saw that in the trailer. So everybody's playing, dual roles. They're playing themselves in a more sinister fashion. Other people don't have as big of a role. What's her name? Elizabeth Moss. Elizabeth Moss, great actress, but she's not a main player here in the film. And one of the people who is not also, her husband, who's not a main player, but I'm actually impressed with the guy is Tim Heidecker, man. Tim Heidecker is like
Why you take that Tim Heidecker picture? Oh man,
I was in a rush, man.
I'm surprised you use spaghetti.
That's the kind of still you get when you hate somebody.
Did somebody say spaghetti? I tell you what, Tim and Eric has made me mad on plenty of things, but they've also made me laugh so hard. That was one of the things that Tim Heidecker. I'm impressed with him because that's how I know him from Tim and Eric's awesome show, Good Job or whatever. And he on there. He just seems like he's just doing anything for a laugh. I've been seeing him in more roles lately, and I've been enjoying him. But yes, Spaghetti is the one that made me just fall in love with him, man.
I needed someone to spook you.
I saw somebody back there. I thought it was our boss's kid or something, because he'd been back there for like 10 minutes messing around, and then he jumped out, and I saw it wasn't a kid. It was actually a full-grown man.
I've always liked Tim Heidecker because of that, and he gave me gum at Sundance.
You didn't say that.
Yeah, and ever since then, I do think that the majority of the movie works just as a straightforward horror film.
It does.
And that's, before they get to any parts where it becomes like this experimental or puzzling kind of film, they're giving you within horror, like the home invasion horror. I tell people, I would tell people, if you're looking for something that you like, if you go in and you say, okay, well, it's not like Get Out, what is it like? I say, all right, for the majority of the movie, if you like movies like The Strangers, it's really like that, where these creepy people invade the home. And I would even say once they get in, it turns into a little bit of another game or another movie rather, that just really kind of pissed people off. Funny Games.
We're gonna make a bet now. You bet that you'll be alive tomorrow at 9 o'clock, and we bet that you'll be dead. Eeny, meeny, miny, mo. Eeny, meeny, miny, mo.
And that's when the family comes in. They toy with the with the original people, or whatever you call them, the real family. That there's hints of those two movies in there as a home invasion film. So if you like those movies or elements of those movies, there's a lot of that to be had here with more of a. Now, I'm not saying it is supernatural, but for a lot of it, a very supernatural feel to it. Like I said, a weird, freaky feel to it.
Yeah.
I know I usually don't like this, but in Corey, you know what I'm talking about. You have to see this in black stereo.
Oh, yes.
Black people talking enhance the movie.
They do. We had the one black lady that was in Get Out shouting her ass off, and she somehow teleported into this movie too.
Yes, she
I don't know
did.
if she comes with the film.
I think Jordan Peele hires her.
Yeah. She's like, don't do that. Run.
You always got that one black one, not black man. You always got that one black woman who's telling the people on the screen what to do. You better get in that car. What you doing? You better run.
You got that one white guy. Shh.
Who you talking to? Like I said, I think the problem with being open to interpretation for a lot of this is that really, my biggest complaint with this is that we bears repeating that they just don't there are more questions to be answered, and when you start trying to answer them, they don't make sense.
Yeah, they don't.
They don't, or they lead to more questions.
Or they lead to more questions.
Yeah,
more questions.
It's on the verge of, if I keep with this line of questioning, this is either going to fall apart or there's stuff here that I can't answer. And somebody needs to give me Jordan Peele's number. Because I can't sleep. I need to know.
Yeah. It's hard to really find a rating for this, because I'm definitely between a high matinee and a full price. And I think it all depends on what kind of person you are. Now, like I said, if you are the kind of person that comes out of a movie, and I am this person, you come out of a movie and you like being able to carry the movie with you and continue asking questions, because you heard me say this before, I like getting online and reading about theories about the film. People trying to put together the pieces after it's long done. I like having discussions with people about this, about a movie when you don't know what's happening. So I think I'll give it a low full price. Now, if you're a person who you just want to go in for a horror movie, I ain't going there trying to think. That's why I paid that nigga to think for me. I'm not trying to go here and figure things out. Then I still think that the majority of the movie is a very well done, not just horror movie, but a very well directed movie, man. Jordan Peele is a very skilled director. People throw craft around, like y'all throw that shit around like cheese slices, man. This is supposed to be. I was wondering who's gonna catch me. Thank you. Thank you.
Don't you ever say anything to me.
How you not catch that the second he said it, man? I'm like, crap. I'm like, I know he not. No, he not. There it is.
This is somebody who thinks about their movie. They storyboard. They plan things out. This man thinks his way through. It's still, and because of that, it is still a great horror film. So maybe for that, if the ending's just going to be something where you're just going to get frustrated, I say a high matinee for you.
I have nothing but admiration for this film, and it is one where story-wise I wouldn't necessarily seek it out again, but just to watch how it's constructed, it's worth several viewings. So much of the craft, the acting, and just not knowing what was coming next. It was beautiful how it was done. If I had not so much a problem with the reveal, because you go through the movie and it's so entertaining, you're so engrossed, and often I might say, yeah, this is all nice and all, but what's this about? I wasn't doing that through this because I was so into it, and even when it got there, I was like, all right, you're giving me an explanation, I'm cool. I was not so happy so much with the twist that at the very end, only because and I'm not super smart, I think anybody can see it coming from 10 minutes in. And thinking about it, I was like, you didn't actually really need that. You could have cut it before that and it would have been fine.
Yeah.
It was unnecessary. It's a low full price. Another great aspect of this movie, just because I got to compare it to something else recently, is that this is one of those movies where your characters all make the right decisions. They are all acting in their best self-interest, and their survival instincts are fully on. If they can't do something, it's because they can't do it.
It actually works as a good action film too.
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong, it's a straight up horror movie, but there's some moments here that when I say the kills are good, it's like I said, it's not just for the sake of seeing somebody get their brains beat in. It's like it's like audience applauding the kills in this movie because they do the right thing. That it turns at a moment it turns like in where you love these characters because they're doing what you're supposed to do to survive. Nothing stupid. Yeah, in that way it becomes like just a sliver of an action film too.
This is one of those horror movies where I feel like it actually equals to some of its parts. I feel like with a lot of horror movies, it's like something stellar, but something else is just trash. Like the story's great, but the acting's terrible, or vice versa. I feel like a lot of things were handled in here well. Again, all the actors were great. The story, I do feel like it kind of tripped over itself at the end, but it was still an interesting enough reveal, and the way it was fleshed out. It's like, all right, I can go with this, and I can't wait to have a discussion, the spoiler with this with everybody. But I think I would come out saying that it's a full price. And I'm sorry, the last thing I wanted to say was that the music, I don't feel like we talked about that enough. The music in this was incredible.
It was.
Yeah.
And like I went back and listened to this score and soundtrack, and trust me, y'all need to check that out because Jordan Peele somehow found a way to make it work well with only not building suspense, but also making it work in the film as a part of almost like another character in the movie.
Yeah.
So it's a full price for me.
Yeah. Full price is all around, so it is worth it. Thank you for watching, everybody. I know you've already given us a lot of your time, but can I ask you one more thing, and that is to press the subscribe button. And if you really like what we do, if you love what we do, go to our main site, doubletoasted.com. Over there, you'll find the longer form versions of these videos. Also, the live streams that we do almost every night of the week. Support us at btmerch.com. And remember to always stay